This episode is brought to you by Editor X. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. In this episode, you are going to watch us take the SpaceX website and redesign it from 0 to 100 from scratch to finished, all in the Editor X platform. It's going to be responsive and beautiful. And in this part one, we are going to focus on the desktop designing experience. So with that said, join me in jumping into Editor X, which is a no-code website builder, and show you guys how we can do some amazing things. With that said, do not forget to subscribe if you haven't already, like this video, and with that said, if you guys want to watch the full live stream, just in case if you're curious, if you want to follow along and design with us, you guys can check that down in the link in the description. And also, if you like this video and you want to join in part 2 of this learning tutorial, in part 2 you guys are going to learn how to make this experience in Editor X responsive and also add some animations on top of it as well. So with that said, let the learning begin. So, all right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to, I'm already logged in Editor X. I'm gonna create a new site. I'm gonna go to Editor X. I'm just gonna press design. That really doesn't matter. And there's a whole bunch of templates that I could pick from, but honestly, the SpaceX website is like so simple, we don't need to do that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna close this, we don't need that anymore. I'm just gonna do a blank canvas. And honestly, if I picked any of these, for example, like if I just go back, like if I just clicked, and there's a whole bunch of templates we can actually pick from. But this is honestly the coolest thing, because what Editor X is strong at is you can kind of just like plug and play. I can pick a really dope template, and honestly, all I would need to change is, just like any other template, is the text and some of the assets. So it's kind of like building it for me. Essentially, this is the site, and all these boxes, I can change out the videos, I can change out the text, I can change the text, whatnot. And some of this is like already pre-built. Like if I wanted to redesign SpaceX in this format, I totally could just download the images from the SpaceX site and just like plug and play. But we're not gonna do that. We're gonna do it from scratch because it's even easier. So with the blank sheet really just comes with a vector logo, a header. Well, actually, let me just show you the layers. And what I like about Editor X versus say like Webflow is this is like intuitive. This is honestly like Adobe XD. I understand everything that's in here. I have my layers, I have my settings palette where I have like my alignment tools, my design, where I can change colors and things like that, and then I have like my animations. So what I'm going to do first, because we're redesigning SpaceX, I actually don't like this image first. I do not want like a weird rocket in the beginning. I kind of want to do the video first. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to delete, close all of these because we don't need them. And I am going to right click in my header. And just really quick, I'm going to detach from masters just so it's not green. I'm essentially turning it into a section. And also, while I'm doing this, guys, if you have any questions in regards to like what is happening or what in the world did I just do, like feel free to pop that in the chat and I will go slowly and explain what's kind of happening. But I'm really just going to go into, I'm going to right click. I want to do a couple things here. I want to add a video player. It automatically just drops in a video, and I can go to my layers and see where it dropped it. So in my section, I have my video player, I have my hamburger menu, which Editor X automatically puts in, but displays at 0. You can see it right here. I'm going to turn it back off. I'm going to just right click, don't display. And that comes into play with like responsive websites too. We'll get into all that. We'll literally be able to create this entire site, I'm hoping in under an hour. Like desktop and mobile. That is the goal. All right, so now we have, on this side, we have our logo and we have our menu here too. So first things first, I'm actually going to delete this logo. I'm going to pull in some of my media. And I actually have some, I've already took the time to download some of I always get Editor X and SpaceX's names mixed up. I already downloaded some of SpaceX's content, their logo. I'm gonna upload their PNG and some of their videos and photos. I'm gonna right click, I'm gonna quick add, I'm gonna add an image. I'm gonna just get our logo in here. I'm gonna change image. I'm gonna pull in our space logo. And of course, guys, I don't have the SVG of SpaceX, so just bear with me. I just did a really ugly cut of SpaceX's logo in Photoshop, so don't shoot the messenger, okay? Okay, so I got a couple things happening here. I'm gonna go to my layers. So this thing right here, essentially everything is white, so we can't see anything. So I'm just gonna click the page home. I'm gonna go to my settings over here, and I'm gonna just make this black. So I'm just gonna place some things here. So right now, just like in any other design program, I need to kind of mix and match some of my layers here. So my image, which really is our logo, let me see. I want to rename this, but I don't think that is in the abilities. Okay, so I'm just gonna take this image, which is our logo. I'm gonna put it on top of our video. And I'm gonna kind of actually I'm gonna just take my video editor and put it below everything. That's the safe bet. And I'm just gonna scale this. I can change the video. I'm just gonna change it to our beautiful space thingy-me-jigger. And I'm gonna scale it. I'm gonna use this button to scale. And I am going to use, I'm gonna go back to my layers, select this section. And I'm gonna just make sure that this actually can drag this too. I can either use my right-hand side bar here, my settings, to expand and contrast like the actual height, or I can literally just like push and pull, which I like. Just like, again, any other software. All right, now what I want to do is, because if we take a look at SpaceX, the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna just do the menu on top of like an image, and then we're gonna get some text going, and we have our CTA. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna group my logo and my menu. I'm gonna make sure they're aligned horizontally. Boom, I'm gonna press Control G. They have become grouped. And what I also wanna do is I kinda wanna bring a container in here just for like easy maintenance of just keeping things organized. And we'll explain this a little bit as we continue on. So I'm gonna click the plus here. I could have quick added it, but I want to kind of look through some things. I'm gonna go to layout tools. I'm gonna just grab like an empty box, just this gray thing here. And so for those of you who are familiar with somewhat web development, you don't have to use containers. You literally can make sites 121 different ways. The way that I'm going to do this today is literally the way that is best for me in terms of like how I organize things on sites. But honestly, the best thing about Editor X is that you literally just have to like make text, add assets, and place it where you want. You don't have to deal with things where like in Webflow you have to figure out like all the numerical equations, especially when you're using templates. But for this case, this is just how what works for me. So I'm going to create a little bit of a container, and I'm going to pull in my hamburger and my logo into my container here. I'm just going to Control X, go into my container, Control V. It kind of goes into the container, my menus, and my, it looks like my whatchamacallit was deleted. So we'll make a mobile menu later. We don't have to worry about that. I feel like things have happened and you guys are talking to each other and I have no idea what is going on. All right, I'm gonna ungroup this really quick because I don't need them to be grouped anymore. But for some reason, they are moving together. Okay, all right, I'm gonna move this down this way. I'm gonna move this over here. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna move this over to the edge. How far do I want it from the side? And I can also do like, I can drag stuff if I wanted. Like I can be like, oh, okay, well I want 30 pixels from the right and 30 from the top. But I also can do it from here as well. If I wanted 30 pixels from the top and 30 pixels from the right, Basically, this is just like the docking. So there's a lot of different ways to actually make sure that what you're creating is pixel perfect, which I like. And it helps me in a visual way versus where like I feel like I'm like pushing and pulling things in Webflow and I really don't understand. All right, so now I can just turn down the opacity on this container, whoops, to 0. All right, so now we have a little bit of a container menu on top of our video. I can pull my video down here in the section. Dun, dun. Make sure I'm selecting it. There we go. Pull it down, make sure we have as much video as we want, okay. Christina asked how you got the video, so I asked you're a hacker. Oh, it's super easy. So on how I got the video is on SpaceX. You literally can get any asset on any website. So I just right-clicked, I inspect. I press this little thing. I have no idea what it is. It's like select element, and I click the background where the video is. So how I got this is, so we see right here, this is like video. I just open that up, and there's 2 little media files right here. I right-clicked it, I opened a new tab, and there's the video. Ta-da! And what I can do from here is I can right-click, save video as, and that saves to my desktop. This video saves to my desktop, and that's good to go. And that's literally what I uploaded to this. So if I press preview here, essentially the video plays, and we can figure out as we go like how to keep the video. As you guys see, this kind of like shrinks down. We don't want that to happen. We want it to be full scale, and we also want it to autoplay. So we'll figure that out. So I'm gonna go back to editing the site, and I'm gonna start getting my text in her. All right, we got the preview. I don't know what this checkbox is. I think that's just making sure that like I'm saving and publishing. Okay. It's basically just like, yes, your stuff is changed. All right, let's go back to looking at SpaceX. Let's look at the text that we want. All right, this is going to be a very quick halftime show. If you haven't already and you are enjoying this video, don't forget to smash that like button and hit subscribe. But also, I just wanted to let you guys know, if you haven't already signed up for Editor X, you can do so today for the free. And you can start making websites from the comfort of your laptop, desktop, your Mac, whatever you're using. Absolutely free, and you can follow along with our monthly challenges just like this. So with that said, links are down below. You can sign up today, help support the channel, and you can start designing some amazing things. So with that said, back to the video. All right, so I'm just gonna make sure that I am in my section. I'm going to just right click, and I'm just gonna add some, where's my quick add? Da, 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 da. I don't know why I'm not seeing it. Anyway, I'm just gonna go here. I'm gonna go to text. I am going to grab, we'll just grab a H1. And usually you don't have to grab it like that. Literally, you should just be able to like right click. I think it's just because I'm on top of a video and it thinks that I want to edit the video, which is not true. But I just dragged this in. All I did was I went to add elements. I went to text and I just grabbed an H1. And that keeps everything, really smooth. If I end up editing the size of this H1, it also happens to change all of the H1s throughout the document. So the first thing that we're gonna do, what do we have? This is gonna be Dragon Returns to Earth. And you can also, for example, like what text is this? Edit text. This is Poppins. You can also upload your customized fonts, things like that, to Editor X, which is awesome. So we're gonna do all of that. So I've uploaded all of these, all these custom fonts, and to show you how to do that, it's super simple. You can see the upload fonts thing here. I can press that and literally I can upload my fonts. It'll ask me where my files on my computer I would like to pull them, and these are all the fonts that I've kind of uploaded. All right, so I'm just gonna squeeze this. All right, I'm gonna actually find what is the size of the text that they use over here, so I can utilize that in our design. All right, font size is about 60, so we're gonna do the same. Edit text, we got 88, we're gonna do 60 here. Blow. Let's scale that. Shablam. And as you guys can see, if you see these little things here, they're automatically docking the, that is such a nasty word. What's it called? You can very easily, like, it docks in percentage for responsivity to understand, oh, well, we want these items to stay here. So we're going to just find a spot for that. I'm going to close this because we don't need that. I'm going to also close these templates because we don't need that. And let's see. Okay, so, all right. And also I'm going to pull this in. And we also get these grids here. So I'm lining up SpaceX with this dragon to Earth. And I'm also going to do the same thing on this side in a little bit. I'm actually going to move the menu. We're going to move it a little bit to the center. In a little bit, you guys will see why. Because there's a whole bunch of menu pieces. This time I'm going to use H4. Right click, copy my text. I'm going to put ddin. I'm just going to put this. I don't know if it's what it needs to be. And then I'll do like 18. I don't know why it didn't change. There we go. And I wonder if this was condensed. All right, so this is medium, and this is dun, dun, dun. It's hard to think and talk at the same time, guys. Like, I have to say, like, I'm so appreciative that you guys show up, because a lot of the time I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of the times I don't know what I'm talking about, but like things just happen to happen nicely and work out beautifully. All right, so let's see here. I'm just essentially just going in and inspecting like all of the like true things that they're using. So their font is 17. This is ddin regular. Again, quick add. Oh, not well. I guess a title is fine. Edit text. We're gonna do ddin regular. If I can find, I think this is it. Ddin regular. And I'm just going to copy the words that they have here. So, all right, I'm just going to make this white here. Boom, boom. There we go. And making this, we're going to do, I think this was 17. There we go. I believe it was 17. Let me see. I don't know. They kind of look a little small. All right, it was 17, but it does look small. Maybe it's just because we're not utilizing 100% of the space. But let's start to, we're going to go ahead and, I think this is too small. But this is design. Like once we figure out all this stuff, we're going to be able to like copy and paste it to really everything. Let's see, what was this? This was 20 pixels. Boom, 20. All right. So I'm just going to make sure everything is lined up here. I'm going to hold shift, select all this, and just use my left align tool. Boom, good to go. And now I'm going to go ahead and grab a botane. So boom, right there. I'm just going to pull that right there. And I'm going to change the color of our border. I'm going to change that to white. Boom. And we're going to change the text to say, what is the button over here? This is my jam. All right, we're going to rewatch. And we are going to make sure to change the text color here, white. And we're also going to change this to D dot bold. There we go. And let's see. It's all caps. So we're going to do caps rewatch. There we go. And we can just scale that to how we want. Like, this is how easy it is. Honestly, if I wanted to, we could be done. Like, for example, I'm just going to group all of this, Control G, and I'm just going to put the video player below all of that. And what I could do is I could take this section. Maybe we might not be able to. Actually, we could do it with this section. I could take this section, copy, paste, and it duplicates it. And all I would need to do is just delete the menu container, and I can just start doing the reverse. Actually, that's honestly what we might do. I didn't even think about this, guys. This is actually going to be way quicker than I thought. So we're going to start with that. All we're going to do is rather than change the video, we're just going to our layers here, and I think we need to find a way to change the names of these sections. I think maybe I just double click them. Okay. It was easier than I had thought. I was like, I must right click to figure this out. But it is super easy. All right, so we're gonna call this menu plus header. This next one, we're gonna do spaceship section. All right, so I'm gonna go back to my media here, and I'm just gonna pull my image here, go to my layers. I'm gonna pull this down to where my video is, and all I gotta do is just hit the stretch. I'm gonna delete my video. My image covers the entire container. And honestly, all I'm gonna do is just change the words. Upcoming launch. Crew 33. Oops, didn't mean to do that. We want these ones. Yeah, honestly, see, it's always what's really interesting is like one thing I would like to do is I would like to make rules to make it so that there's certain I might create a container so that these actually I might do that actually just to keep things clean. I'm going to quick add. I'm going to create a container. I'm going to pull this over here. And again, you don't necessarily have to do this, but again, this is me thinking about responsivity, keeping things super clean for me, and not having to move a lot. And you guys will see kind of how this works. All right, going to go to my layers. Container to me kind of just feels like a folder. I'm going to take all of this text, the dragon, all this stuff. Let me see. I don't know why the rewatch. Oh, that's the button. Okay. I'm going to take all this and I'm going to put this inside of the container. I'm just going to hold Control X, go to my container, Control V, so I'm pasting everything in that container. And I would probably have to reorganize this just a little bit. Whoops, not what I'm trying to do. So I got this. We're just reorganizing. Boom. And I'm going to pull my Bhutan, and I'll explain why I used a container in just a little bit. All right, so right now I am trying to, all right. Dun, dun. One thing I still have to figure out how to learn, if you guys see this, like I like how everything is now essentially in this group, but what I want it to do also is be in a kind of a relationship with these other elements. So like, for example, I think this actually might be it. Stack. There it is. So that there is if you guys can maybe barely see it, but there is a relation. There's like a little bit of gray in between these elements now. Can you see that in the chat? It's like very, very subtle. It's kind of like what they have in Adobe XD where it kind of shows like the relationship between the other elements. And by the way, I'm going to turn the border off of this container here. Okay, I'm going to pull that there. I'm actually going to delete this because we don't want that anymore, and we're going to push. I'm going to replace what we had here. There we go. Just so we're kind of like using kind of like components. I know I didn't necessarily componentize it, but essentially just using one element on another piece. If we wanted to like actually take our time with this, we literally could make a component out of this and make it like a master. But we'll go over that another time. I'm gonna try to find a way to like put this. Let's see, how far should we have this? This is about 64 pixels from the bottom. So we're gonna do the same thing here. We're gonna click this, 64 pixels, boom. Now we're trying to keep it the same for each little section. Again, changing the words. Oops. Crew mission. And see, now that you see that, did you guys see how it auto resized? So when I use stacks, it keeps each element the same width, or the same pixel width away from each other while they're stacked. If you guys are familiar with XD and that same sort of, yeah, it's the same thing in XD. It's called a stack. It keeps the relationships the same, so that way you don't have to go back in and like finagle, like, oh, I need new information in there. I gotta like change, you know, kind of how it works. And so if I delete this, there you go. It already resizes for me. All right, sweet. So next we're going to do, so we already have those two. We're just gonna duplicate this here. We're gonna go to my layers. So this is Spaceship 1. Boom. Christina says I've got a couple of projects. Nishant says, is this easier than Webflow? 1,000,000%. Webflow, you gotta like do math and stuff. Like this is, Nishant, I'm gonna have you answer a question for me. Whether you're familiar with XD, any sort, if you're familiar with a design platform, even Photoshop, this is much more like Photoshop or any other, similar to tools that we use as designers. It's Webflow, like if you want to make cool stuff in Webflow, you kind of have to like be big brained a little bit. But it's super simple. Like I just have to understand what assets I'm using, what I want to have the site say. Like it's super easy. Like when did we start this? We started at 3 o'clock. It's about 40 minutes in. We're about to finish literally the whole homepage of SpaceX in less than 40 minutes. All I have to do is, I think, one more. What is it? I'm gonna copy this. But yeah, it's honestly, it's really easy. I've only really been in Editor X. It didn't even take me, I think if you have watched this channel, I have created 2 Editor X sites with very little knowledge, and they're continually adding on to the complexity, what you can do with animations, and like the barrier to entry is very little. Like I remember when I was learning Webflow, like how much I had to read. I think we all can, we can all understand like the headache that is within like Webflow and how much documentation, and you kind of have to think a little bit like a developer to get the best out of Webflow. Whereas like Editor X, it's very much designer first, and that's how they kind of built it. Like even people who aren't, it's like a mix of, it's literally like Wix, but it also, I'll show you guys some of the things that are within, like once we kind of hit like our time, you know, the time limit that we have for today. I'm gonna show you guys like some of the other really cool, this is learn more, some of the really cool things that we can do, and that really helps with the learning curve or the creation curve time in Editor X. I want it to be aligned with, like, you see how I'm moving some of this stuff, right? In Webflow, you would have to be like, you'd have to like count numbers and stuff. It's not this easy to like reorganize. It's very much like a design editor, and it keeps perfect. When we start doing some of the responsive stuff, it's super easy. So let me just go ahead. So we have, all right, I'm going to just change this image. Boom. Our last image is this one. So, all right, so I'm going to get into this footer really quick. And this is really easy. I'm just going to go to my, let's see, there's layout tools, menu, and search. I want a footer, and I saw it earlier. Compositions. And also, this is another thing. Like, there's so many things that they give you to start off with. We'll talk about this in a little bit. But here we go, compositions, footers. I'm going to go ahead and click that. I'm just going to pull one up that I kind of like and that a little bit resembles Editor X. I might want to do, we'll just play with this one. We'll pull this one, just pull it in. And I'm going to delete this section. We don't need that section. And we are going to, we don't need this shape. We're going to delete it. Let's go back to SpaceX. All right, it's pretty simple. We're just going to take this. Is Editor X limited than Webflow? It depends on what you want to do. So let me ask you this. Nishant, what do you want to do with, like if you were to use Editor X, what would you want to have, at your disposal? And while you answer that, I'm going to show you guys how to kind of deal with the menu now, and I want to show you guys like how cool it is that the menu updates everywhere, both in the header and in the footer once you create everything. So I'm gonna I'm literally just gonna click on my menu here, and all right, so we have Falcon 9. I'm just gonna manage menu. I'm actually going to, I'm gonna leave this for now, but all right, we're gonna do just a link for now, and we're gonna send all of this to, we're just going to send this to Google for right now because we don't have an actual website to send it to. So just Google. Done. I'm going to call it Falcon 9. Same thing here. Boom. Page. I wonder if it will allow, oh, it won't. It will just call it home. All right. So I'm going to remove this. And right now, all of the menu items are going to be black. We'll change that in a hot second. Web address, google.com. Let's see, we're going to call this heavy, Falcon Heavy. I'll call this Google again. And obviously, as you guys can see, you can send it to a page, you can have an anchor link, you can send it to a document, you can send it to an email. Like, they make this really easy. A light box. All right, so boom. Dragon. And I wonder if I can duplicate this. I cannot. Okay. Link. Web address, Google. So this is Dragon. What is the name of this? Starship. All right, and this is the last thing I'm gonna type. We don't need the full. We don't need the full menu. Starship. And all right, we'll do the rest. Human space flight and rideshare. I'm just tired of like typing in Google. Human ride share. But we only have to type this in one time. Oh, or human space flight, whatever. I don't know why I got Uber on the mind. And we'll add one more. And rideshare is there, okay. All right, boom. Okay. So now I'm just going to go to my settings over here. I'm going to go to my design, and I am going to change all of the text from black to white. And I'm also going to change the text from Poppins to DDIN. And I think we're going to use the condensed. We'll see what that looks like. Or not. I don't know why it didn't change. All right, let's see what happens. All right, there we go. I don't know why I decided to change after I clicked it. So we're just gonna move this a little bit over. Just like so. And I wonder if I can stack these. I would like to stack them, but I think I'm gonna group them for now. And let's see. So we have pretty much everything. And see, as you guys saw from the menu, we did it once. And what's awesome is that essentially Editor X keeps track of all of your menus, both, and I'll show you guys this once we start getting into responsive 2. Even the mobile menu understands like the menu types that you have. It'll be easier if I explain. So, all right, so I'm clicking on my menu. I'm gonna go ahead and change this to text, ddin. We're gonna do, I think it was condensed that we did there too. Boom, easy day. Can we use our Adobe Fonts in it too? I believe so. Let me verify that real quick. So I'm actually going to, I'm gonna cut this. I'm going to also, I'm gonna scale this down. I'm gonna pull this right next to here. I'm gonna scale our menu down just a little bit. Pull this right here. We're gonna put SpaceX right here. Some copyright stuff, you know what I'm saying. Scale that down as well. I'm gonna group these two, and I'm gonna center this just like that. I'm gonna squeeze this in. All right. Well, let's see what this looks like, and then we will also check out the Adobe Fonts real quick. All right, so I'm gonna click this. So to your question, Nishant, if I want to edit any text, I just click on it, click Edit Text, and when I click the font here, there are a whole bunch of default fonts, but also, let's see what this is. I have not tried the language thing before, but I can upload my fonts. So if you have downloaded your Adobe fonts, I'm pretty sure you can upload them. But you can upload the TTFs, the OTFs, the WOFFs, and the WOFF2s. Don't know what the last two are, but all right. So let's go ahead. We're gonna change this video. So this is the video player. Let's see if we can find like an auto player. So I'm gonna go to I'm gonna go to media. Let's see. This is the transparent video. Single image, single video players. Video box. Maybe this is what it is. So I'm gonna pull this in really quick just to see like what it is. It looks like it's not on autoplay. Maybe there's an autoplay. I've actually not tried. Okay, so this is autoplay. Sweet. All right, so that's what we're gonna use. So we're gonna just edit, close that out, and we're gonna replace this. So we're just going to hit settings. Oh, wait, autoplay right here. Autoplay, play in a loop. See? Kristen, that was Christina, that was a really good question. So all I had to do was click the video player and go to settings, and it had autoplay and play in loop already there for us. So if we preview, we still need to figure out how to have it full. But everything else, like we have from Editor X, we can tighten up the, literally we can tighten up everything else, the footer. But let's see what we can do with the actual video here. We don't want to change the video. All right, so what I want to do here is I have the video selected, and what I want to do here, so I just want to make sure that this is, I want it to be stretched. So let's see what we can do. The play button, show title, video title, no. This is the last thing that we have to figure out, and I think we're good, but let's see. Maybe it has something to do with, check out Wix video. Dun, 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 dun. So I wonder if ooh, okay. Let's try this. So width is at 100%, but it doesn't look like it. Height is at, let's try. And do some playing around here. Huh. Let's think through, because what's interesting here is that the video is actually, it seems to be like cropping right around here. Whereas you see like these other photos, they go full scale. And I wonder why it is cropping. Maybe it's because I literally, you know what I did? I bet, let's take a look at this. I bet that video is 100%, but it's scaled larger. So let's take a look. So this is the SpaceX video, and it can't play. All right, cool. Open with the VLC. Oh, snap. I literally just turned off like all of the music just to play this. Okay, so the actual video, if you guys didn't see it, oh, I just turned off the music. Sorry, guys. I'm just so excited. Pull that off to the side. But we do need to figure out this, what's going on here. So, okay. So the video player, it looks like there is a little bit too much space on either side. Oh, well, I don't know what I did there. Let's see if that helps. Again, bringing that below everything. No. Why it do that? But it doesn't work. Oh, there. You know what? That's why. It does like a little YouTube thing. That's what we're not trying to have happen. We don't want it to be a YouTube thing. We want that stuff hidden. So that's kind of it. That's what. Yeah, we're gonna switch it. We're actually gonna pull that out. So we're actually going to take that out. Boom. I'm just gonna do a video box. Just like we did before. Boom. We're gonna take this. We're gonna scale it up. We will figure out. We're just gonna do this for now. There will be a better way next time. So we're gonna change the color of the play button as well. Actually, we might be able to just turn that off. No. I thought last time it did automatically play, which is why this was fine. I don't know. All right, well, we'll just leave this here. Let's go through some of the responsive stuff, and then we'll diagnose as we go. All right, so that is it for part 1. If you guys want to watch how to make this responsive and also add some animation, check out the video in the card above, or just check out this video right here. Click on it and follow along and design with us. With that said, if you enjoy what we have going on here, each month we do a Editor X series in which we take the websites that we all know and love and break down how we can recreate those in the Editor X no-code site builder platform. So if you want to join along with us, first off, you can join our Discord down below, where we basically ask you guys what exactly you would like to see and or have us reverse engineer each and every month, so you guys can follow along via our live streams. So make sure to join us so that you can be a part of our community. So with that said, a couple things. One, if you want to watch part 2, links are right here. If you want to join our community, links are down in the description to join our Discord to be a part of what exactly we are going to come each month live and reverse engineer so that you guys can learn along with us in Editor X. And on top of that, if you haven't already liked this video and subscribed, definitely do so. With that said, Brandon Groce, your favorite designer and host, out. I'll see you in part 2 or somewhere else on the YouTube channel. And again, special thanks to our sponsor, Editor X. All right, guys, take it easy. See you soon.